A very good morning to all of you, my colleagues and distinguished speakers on the dais, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start my address to you, let me wish all the ladies present in this hall a very, very happy Women's Day. And let's take this opportunity to do something for the security of all the women across the country, and not only across the country but across the globe. And I'm sure that ICT can play a very, very important role in providing security to each and every woman of the country and the society. Having said that, let me take 2 minutes of yours on taking my favorite subject, that is what we had done in last 65 years in terms of institution building. And I keep repeating because I feel that it is very, very necessary to visit and revisit these two institutions. The first and the foremost is that of democracy. At the time of independence, we chose this form of the governance, and we are very happy. Today, we are the largest democracy and the most thriving and flourishing democracy. At the time of independence, a lot of people thought across the world that India, being very ignorant, large illiteracy, poverty, will not be able to survive long, and especially will not be able to nurture this institution of democracy. But credit goes to all of you and to our founder fathers who nurture this institution, and today all our elections are absolutely free and fair. And we change our government in a very, very peaceful manner. So it's a very, very proud achievement of this country and the countrymen. And second institution, which all of us are very proud of, is that of secularism. Again, at the time of independence, a lot of people had a lot of apprehension about this institution. And I'm very happy to share that today we are truly secular, and all our festivals are being celebrated in a very, very cohesive and cordial manner, whether it is Diwali or Eid or Christmas. In spite of huge plurality in this country, we have been able to move forward, and it is only because of these two institutions, primarily because of democracy and the secularism, that we are growing at a rate of almost now 5.5 and 6%. So it has come down a little bit from 8.5 and 9%. But I'm sure that we have got the potential to grow at a rate of almost 10%, and that will happen once we are able to take care of our delivery of public service. And as a lot of speakers have already said, yesterday this bill has been approved by the cabinet, and it has been introduced in the parliament, or it has been approved by the cabinet. Though we started this journey long time back, but I'm sure that once we take care of the delivery of public services, and delivery of public services, I personally feel that it must include quality education, access to quality education, and access to cost-efficient and quality health services as well. And I'm sure in due course of time, we'll be able to do that. And once we do that, and once we are able to take care of our masses, that means if we go in for inclusive development, surely we'll start growing at a rate of 10%. There's no doubt about that. Now let me come to the main topic of security. As you must be knowing that the concept of nation, concept of state has come from the security. Because people wanted to have security, and some people, they got together and somebody said, okay, look here, for this particular group I'll provide the security. And they became some kind of a leaders or the tribal leaders, and in due course of time, that concept developed into the concept of state, and thereafter the concept of kingdom and things like that. In security, basically, we have got three kinds of security. One is physical security. That means each and every individual must be protected against all kinds of problems, aggression. And second is security in the field of financial wealth. That means each and every person should be confident of securing his or her wealth, whether it is in digital form or is in physical form. And third, the intellectual property. We had to ensure that the intellectual property is also secured. And in all these three areas, ICT can play a very, very important role. There is no doubt about that. Let's take the question of physical security. And as I said, that if we really want to grow, it is necessary that people of that society, people of citizens of that country must have the sense of security, and only then they'll be able to concentrate on their own work, whether it is pursuit of knowledge, whether they are in R&D or whether they are in business or trade or industry or whatever. And they will be able to contribute significantly and meaningfully only when they feel secure. And as I was talking about the security for the women, we must create a mechanism so that each and every person is sure of his or her own security. Once we tried a small pilot in DIT for creating a small mobile-based application which can give a little bit of security to individual. I do not know what is the status of that pilot, but I'm sure that if we put our efforts together, if we go in for a collaborative kind of an approach, surely we can find a very, very cost-efficient and simple solution. And once we do that, a lot of these problems of molestation, hijacking, ransom, these can be tackled to a large extent. Secondly, even case of terrorism, antisocial elements, we can make use of digital cameras, we can make use of UAVs, and again in all these systems, ICT can play a very, very important role. And I'm sure that MHA and a lot of other organizations are working on this area. And again, I personally feel that many times we work in silos. If we get out of that mentality and if we create some kind of a platform, which is a collaborative platform, where the academia, industry, bureaucrats, and the implementing agencies, all these stakeholders, they come together, surely we can take care of this problem, that each and every person can be tracked, and we can find out who the antisocial element is, and we can take care of such elements. Similarly, in the financial world, today all our financial information is in digital form. And every now and then we keep hearing about the frauds, credit card frauds, illegal transfer of money from one account to another account. So we can develop a lot of tools and a lot of systems which will provide security again for all financial transactions. Large number of people today are not making use of mobile banking or internet banking, or even they are a lot of my batchmates. They are in the IAS, they are very well informed guys. They are very apprehensive of using credit cards, only because that sense of security is not there. And I'm sure that large number of applications can be built in, which will provide almost 99.999% security for all these financial transactions. And even for intellectual property, we can have systems so that all our information, whether in databases or whether we are transferring data from one system to another system, all our networks, systems, and databases can be made reasonably secure. And for all these, I personally feel that we require three things. First, as I said, that we require a collaborative approach in terms of R&D, that means creation of new knowledge, creation of new products. And I think that Mr. Rajiv Gauba, who is here, who is an extremely capable officer, under his leadership or under the leadership of DIT, we can create some kind of a forum where the academia, industry, practitioners, implementing agencies, and the bureaucrats, they can come together and they can create these kinds of systems. That means creation of new knowledge and then productization. And second is capacity building. Even in Government of India, people are not very much aware about the cyber crimes and cyber security. They keep hearing, yes, cyber security is something, and we have to take care of cyber security, but nobody knows how to go about it. We must create enough knowledge in every government agencies or semi-government agency, and especially in the state government. And Raji, I would request you to kindly look into this aspect, and if we can create some institution or some joint venture with academia, IITs, or other such engineering institutions, which will provide a forum for government agencies and government officials to acquire that knowledge and acquire understanding of cybersecurity and the issues related with cybersecurity, surely we'll be able to cover a long distance. And finally, awareness. We got to create huge awareness in this country. There is tremendous shortage of awareness regarding cybersecurity, and that's why I was saying the large number of people, even the qualified, knowledgeable people, they are very, very skeptical of using facilities like internet banking, credit cards, mobile banking. We must create this awareness, and we must make use of our own local languages to create awareness in villages, mofussil towns, and bigger towns everywhere. And I'm sure that if we take care of these three things, first is creation of knowledge, productization, this is one area. Second is capacity building across the spectrum, that means right from the politician to the clerical level. And third, awareness. I'm sure we'll be able to create a world which is free of cyber crimes, which will be able to take advantage of IT and ICT in a big way, and we'll be able to create a world which is much more peaceful and prosperous. Thank you very much. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Mr. MP Narayanji, who is a great, great visionary and a leader, and he is trying to create awareness, and he is also trying to create enough capacities across this spectrum. He is doing a wonderful job, and thank you very much, Narayan sir. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Ravi Gupta ji, who is a personal friend of mine, and it is because of his effort that this magazine is doing wonderfully well. And whenever he invites me and whenever I can afford to come, I make it a point to participate in all his functions and seminars and conferences. I express my gratitude to all the other participants and speakers. They are doing a wonderful job, and I'm sure that if we put our best foot forward and in a collaborative manner, surely we'll be able to achieve successes. Thank you very much.